Well, it's still Women's Month, and over 100 female executives and entrepreneurs have decided to come together to share their business experiences and growth strategies. And they will interact in the Female Forum series, which are panel discussions with women in leadership positions in agriculture, innovation, retail and energy industries. And we're joined now by two of those women, Sibongile Mkhize, entrepreneur and former Flight Center associate, as well as Doreen, Kosi, who is a former legal and corporative affairs vice president at SABC InBev Africa Zone. Thanks so much to both of you for coming through.
It's a pleasure.
So before we talk about the forum, let's just talk about your experiences in the workplace. Now, given how far both of you have come, just share with us some of your experiences and some of the difficulties in each of your different environments, starting with you, Doreen.
Okay, thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. So I worked in the public service for 17 years, and I switched over to the private sector in 2013. So I worked for just under 6 years in the private sector. And my experience is really that whatever happens in the workplace, you must take control of it. And the experiences and challenges that I met over time throughout the public sector experience and the private sector experience, one of the things that I really learned is that if you don't take charge of your own destiny, then you're doomed. And whatever happens to you, how you react to it, and the challenges that get thrown your way, how you react to them, and how you convert those as experiences in order for you to learn and move forward is your responsibility. So throughout my career, I've learned to take responsibility, and I've learned the fact that I'm an architect of my own destiny. So that's what I try to do. Challenges or no challenges.
Well, thank you. For me, I've been in the travel sector for over 20 years. And I would say that most people, they forget, they just seem to think they've got a 9 to 5 and you got to go home. But it's all about goal setting. What is it that you want to do? Why have you applied for this job? Why do you want this job? What is the aim? So once you've got the end game, for me, it has never been just to sit in that one chair and then that is it. For me, it was about breaking the barriers, going to the highest position I could possibly find. A lot of challenges along the way, of course, but hey, you got to do what you have to do. You have to fold your sleeves and do what you have to do.
And just very briefly, in terms of moving up the ladder in these companies, did you find that you had to do a lot more than your male counterparts in order to get ahead?
At a personal level, yes, I had. I walked into a sector, for instance, into the pharmaceutical sector, which is predominantly male. And I walked into the sector with no experience in the private sector at all. So all I had was the experience that I had in the public sector because I was in government. And I had to trust my skill and I had to trust my abilities. So some of the challenges I met were because I was not necessarily experienced in the sector. But how I turned that around, I used the tool that I had, which was my experience and my capabilities, to my advantage. And once you're confident about what to bring onto the table, because most people, they know they have skills and experience, they just don't know the sector. But once you know that you're bringing in something to the table, something that's valuable, and you package it, the way you package that must make sense. So whether it's a male-dominant environment or not, you know your abilities, you know your capabilities to bring that. So you just stick to your being true to yourself and just deliver what you have to deliver because you know your capabilities.
And Sibongile, just before we run out of time, the Female Forum series, talk to us about that, its objectives and what people can expect.
What we're trying to do, like you said, is put all these women together. They share our experiences. Most of the time we've experienced that as women, we're very secluded. So there's not a whole lot of us that come together in one platform to actually, lift each other up. Half the time we've experienced, or personally I've experienced, that it's always the men that has to decide if a woman is now ready for a certain position. We don't have enough of the women that actually make those kind of decisions. So why not come together, put the experiences together, start now lifting women so that the little ones that are coming behind us, they've got a platform. They know what to do. So these discussions are very important, and we don't have a lot of that. It's unfortunate that the focus is only on Women's Month, but it's actually, it's a 24/7, 365 problem that we have. We need more women in leadership positions.
Well, as you heard, and these discussions will be taking place at this Women's Forum series. Thanks so much to our guest this morning talking to us about it, Sibongile Mkhize, entrepreneur and former Flight Centre associate, as well as Doreen Kosi. Doreen is a former legal and corporate affairs vice president at SAB and AB InBev Africa Zone, talking to us about the Female Forum series. Well, over to Leanne as we wrap this up, because it's time to close the show.